Imagine you are floating. No ship. No tether. No sound. One moment you were inside your spacecraft, and now you are not. The hatch failed. The air is gone. And ahead of you, stretching in every direction, is nothing. Not sky. Not stars. Nothing. You have just drifted out of the Milky Way, into the space between galaxies. And no one is coming for you. Because out here, no one even knows you exist. At first, it is beautiful. Behind you, the Milky Way glows like a smear of gold and blue, 100 billion suns folded into a single soft light. It looks close enough to touch. Peaceful. Almost like a painting. For a few seconds, your mind tricks you into thinking this might be survivable. Something poetic. Something calm. But something is wrong. The galaxy behind you is not getting smaller because you are moving slowly. It is getting smaller because the space between you and it is stretching. Expanding. The farther you drift, the more enormous the distance becomes. What looks like drifting is actually something much darker. You are being separated from the only neighborhood in the universe that ever knew your name. And now you are entering what scientists call intergalactic space. It is not simply more space. It is a completely different kind of hostile. On Earth, empty still means something. It means air. Warmth. Gravity beneath your feet. An atmosphere surrounding your body. Out here, empty means almost nothing. No air. No warmth. No ground. No shelter. Just vacuum. And your body was never designed for this. Within seconds, the pressure disappears. Your lungs can no longer function normally. Oxygen begins leaving your bloodstream, and your brain starts running out of the one thing it needs most. You do not have minutes to understand what is happening. You have seconds. And while your mind is still trying to comprehend the impossible darkness around you, your body has already begun to fail. But this is only the beginning. The Milky Way is roughly 100,000 light-years across. Try to imagine that distance. You cannot. Human beings evolved to understand meters. Miles. Maybe the distance between cities. But light-years were never meant to be felt. The nearest major galaxy to us, Andromeda, is about 2.5 million light-years away. Between these enormous islands of stars is a darkness so vast that your mind cannot properly scale it. Imagine shrinking the entire Milky Way down until it is the size of a coin. Even then, Andromeda would still be dozens of feet away. And you would be somewhere between them. A microscopic human body suspended in an ocean of darkness. You are not simply far from home. You are farther from anything than the human concept of far was ever built to describe. And there is another problem. Out here, there is no nearby star to warm you. On Earth, the sun is 93 million miles away, yet its energy reaches you every second. It warms your skin. It drives the climate. It powers almost every ecosystem that has ever existed. But here, that familiar warmth is gone. The stars are no longer nearby suns. They are distant points of light separated from you by unimaginable distances. Your body is constantly producing heat. And in the vacuum, there is almost nothing around you capable of taking that heat and giving it back. So slowly, silently, your temperature begins to fall. There is no wind. No snow. No dramatic freezing effect. Just radiation carrying your body's energy away into darkness. You are losing heat to a universe that does not care where it came from. And then you realize something even more disturbing. The emptiness between galaxies is not completely empty. But compared with Earth, it is almost nothing. Astronomers estimate that some regions of intergalactic space can contain fewer than one atom in a cubic meter. One atom. In the same volume of space where Earth's atmosphere contains an unimaginable. Space itself is expanding. Not like an explosion moving outward into an empty room. The room itself is getting bigger. The distances between distant galaxies can increase because the fabric of space is expanding, and the farther away something is, the more dramatic that expansion becomes. For you, drifting between galaxies, that idea is terrifying. Because you are not simply moving away from the Milky Way. The universe is continually changing the distance between you and everything else. Some galaxies we can observe today are already receding from us so rapidly that, because of cosmic expansion, their light will never be able to reach us in the future. Imagine seeing a distant galaxy for the last time. Its light crosses the universe toward you. But while that light travels, space continues expanding. The distance grows. And eventually, there comes a point where the light can never make the journey. The galaxy still exists. But its future light will never reach you. Now imagine yourself drifting through that same darkness. You send a signal toward home. A radio pulse carrying your voice. Your location. A message telling someone that you are still alive. But the signal has to cross the same enormous emptiness. And nothing guarantees that it will ever arrive. Out here, distance is no longer just a measurement. Distance becomes a barrier. A prison with no walls. And then there is the silence. On Earth, silence can feel peaceful. You can stand alone in a desert, deep inside a forest, or on a mountain at night, and still know that the world is around you. There is always air moving. There are particles scattering light. There is a magnetic field surrounding the planet. There is an atmosphere above your head. You do not see these things. But they are constantly protecting you. Out here, those protections are gone. There is no atmosphere to scatter sunlight. No ozone layer above you. No planetary magnetic field surrounding your body. And that means something invisible can reach you. Cosmic radiation. High-energy particles launched across the universe by violent events. Exploding stars. Extreme stellar environments. Material accelerated around black holes. These particles can cross enormous distances through space. And when they encounter your body, they do not politely pass through. They can strike atoms and molecules inside your cells. They can damage biological tissue. They can disrupt DNA. You cannot see them coming. You cannot hear them. You cannot dodge them. The universe is throwing invisible particles at you from every direction. And there is no shield left between you and the cosmos. But the most terrifying part is still ahead. Because humanity has already sent something into the darkness. And even after decades of travel, it has barely begun to leave our cosmic neighborhood. NASA's Voyager 1 has been traveling since 1977. Decades of motion. Decades of crossing the darkness. And yet, on the scale of the galaxy, it has barely gone anywhere. Voyager is humanity's most distant spacecraft, carrying a tiny message from Earth into the darkness. But even at its tremendous speed, reaching another star would take tens of thousands of years. And Andromeda is not another star. It is another galaxy. A vast island containing billions of suns, separated from us by roughly 2.5 million light-years. Now imagine yourself drifting between galaxies with nothing around you. No engine. No fuel. No rescue ship. No destination close enough to reach. Every second you remain there, the same terrifying truth becomes harder to escape. Distance itself has become your prison. But the darkness contains something even stranger. Something we know exists, yet still do not understand. Dark matter. Scientists estimate that dark matter makes up roughly 27% of the universe. We cannot see it directly. It does not shine. It does not reflect light in the ordinary way. We know it is there because gravity reveals its presence. It helps shape galaxies. It influences how stars move. It forms an invisible structure stretching across the universe. And you are drifting through it. You cannot see it. You cannot touch it. You cannot know exactly what is passing through your body. All you can know is that something invisible is moving through the same darkness surrounding you. And then there are rogue objects. Stars thrown out of their galaxies by violent gravitational encounters. Planets torn away from their solar systems. Even black holes can be ejected from galactic centers after enormous cosmic collisions. They can travel through darkness without producing visible light. A rogue black hole would not look like a monster approaching you. There would be no warning. No sound. No glowing surface. Only gravity. In roughly 4.5 billion years, the Milky Way and Andromeda are expected to collide and eventually merge. Imagine watching it from somewhere between them. Two enormous galaxies approaching through the darkness. Millions of stars moving through gravitational chaos. Clouds of gas twisting into new shapes. Entire solar systems being thrown onto new paths. It would be one of the most spectacular events the universe has ever produced. But you would never see it. Because long before that moment arrives, your own story would already be over. No rescue signal would reach Earth. No spacecraft would find you. No search team would ever cross the distance. And eventually, even the last record of where you disappeared could become meaningless. On Earth, when someone vanishes, we search. We find fragments. A piece of metal. A signal. A photograph. A black box. Something remains. But in intergalactic space, there may be nothing to find. Your body would not simply decay the way it would on Earth. There are no bacteria surrounding you. No flowing air. No ordinary environment driving decomposition. Instead, you could remain suspended in darkness for an unimaginably long time. A silent human figure drifting between galaxies. Not buried. Not remembered. Not discovered. Just there. For millions. Perhaps billions of years. And that is when the real horror becomes clear. The vacuum is not the worst part. The cold is not the worst part. The radiation is not the worst part. The worst part is realizing how completely conditional your existence has always been. Every breath you have ever taken depended on an atmosphere. Every step depended on gravity. Every warm day depended on a star 93 million miles away. And every moment your body has survived has depended on a fragile chain of conditions that you normally never notice. Earth hides all of this from you. Its atmosphere surrounds you. Its magnetic field protects you. And perhaps that is the most terrifying thing about intergalactic space. Not that it wants to kill you. It does not. It does not hate you. It does not even know you are there. The universe does not need to attack you. It simply continues. Galaxies continue drifting. Stars continue burning. Black holes continue consuming matter. Space continues expanding. And you continue floating through the darkness, completely unnoticed. There is no villain waiting in the void. There is no monster hiding between the galaxies. There is only physics. And physics does not negotiate. You could scream, but there is no air to carry your voice. You could transmit a signal, but there may be no one close enough to receive it. You could look back toward the Milky Way, but eventually even that familiar glow would disappear into the darkness. And then you would understand something humanity rarely allows itself to think about. Home was never the universe. Home was one tiny planet. A fragile blue world orbiting one ordinary star. The atmosphere above your head is not guaranteed. The warmth on your skin is not guaranteed. The oxygen entering your lungs is not guaranteed. The magnetic field protecting Earth is not guaranteed. None of it is. And yet, somehow, you were born inside that impossible pocket of safety. You stand on a planet surrounded by billions of kilometers of lethal emptiness, and most of the time, you never even notice. You breathe. You walk. You look at the night sky. You see stars shining above you and think they are distant lights. But now imagine knowing what lies between them. An ocean so vast that entire galaxies become islands. A darkness where matter becomes almost non-existent. A place where radiation crosses millions of light years. A place where distance becomes a prison. And where even the universe itself can eventually separate one galaxy from another forever. So the next time you step outside at night and look up, remember this. You are not standing beneath an ordinary sky. You are standing on a tiny world surrounded by an almost incomprehensible void. And every breath you take is evidence that the conditions around you are extraordinarily precise. The universe was never built for us. It does not need us. It would continue without us. But somehow, against an almost infinite number of ways everything could have gone wrong. You are here. Breathing. Watching the stars. Alive. And perhaps that is the strangest thing of all. Not that the universe is terrifying. But that, for one brief moment, in one tiny corner of it, the universe allowed you to exist.